Sup fam, it's Musashden, and it's finally time for another speed paint like I do anything else on this channel. But I'm going to change up the format just a little bit this time and talk all the way through it because apparently people want to hear about the characters that I'm drawing. So this speed paint is going to be me updating Neo's character sheet. Okay, so Neo is yet another character from my old Magical Girl series, Element Warriors. It's not called that anymore. Now it's revamped as Red. I think back when I first created him, he was just another vampire because that's what the story revolved around. It was these earth princesses or whatever that fell in love with vampires from the dark side of the moon. So all the boys were vampires and all the girls were like warrior girls, warrior magical girls. I was trying to make an anime, but anyway, it's not until recently that I made him an incubus, or well, recently as in the 2007 revamp is when I first started calling him an incubus and not a vampire, and he didn't have his sharp fangs anymore. And when I made him an incubus, I really started to flesh out his backstory and his abilities. His name has always been Neo, and he has never had a last name. Like, even in the original design, he never had a last name. It was, like, just Neo. All the other boys had last names. Samael had a last name, and all the other, four had last names, but Neo just didn't. His original design had white hair, but it was the typical anime undercut. His hair was kind of cut like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z, only it was white. And for some reason he had purple eyes like Genesis, even though they weren't related. Yeah, so see in my previous videos how I used to just make couples just look like each other. Yeah, it was in his first revamp in 2007 that he got his green eyes and the cuter hairstyle because I had been into other anime, like his hairstyle now is kind of reminiscent of Naota from Fooly Cooly, which I used to like, but now I don't because it's creepy. Okay, 5 years ago, while waiting for my nephew Jace to be born, I revamped Neo yet again and gave him a spaded tail, not unlike my favorite comic book character, Nightcrawler. My video on why Nightcrawler is awesome is coming soon. I'm gonna talk for 10 straight minutes about why Nightcrawler is the best and everybody else sucks. So while looking over Neo's 2003 origins, I found that he didn't have any. Way to dig deep, 16-year-old me. Yep, the only thing that I wrote for Neo was that despite being a vampire, he had an uncle that raised him and taught him how to fix cars. So old Neo was a mechanic, and I have no idea why I made that such a big part of his character. I can't draw cars now, let alone back then, so I don't know what my plan was gonna be if I ever needed to show him actually doing mechanical work, or, you know, have a background in a mechanical garage, which is even harder to draw. Like, I can't do cluttered backgrounds now. Or cars now, so I don't know what my plan was back then. The original Neo, like a lot of my characters, was based off of a friend of mine. When I think back on it now, it explains Neo's old haircut, aptitude for cars, and the fact that he was so bland. It's because he was based off some shitbird classmate of mine that probably acted cool, but turned out to be a colossal dork. Right, Anthony? Right? I digress. Neo is much better now, seeing how I've tossed out that old cliche cool guy attitude and traded it for his new personality, which is still a cool guy archetype, but now he's not a douche about it. I would say he's akin to a laid-back surfer type without the bro lingo. He has no need for a car since he can fly now, so he's not a mechanic anymore. He plays the violin and is not pinned down by a love interest. Seeing how he's an incubus, having a girlfriend would only lead to bad writing and more cliches about romantic entanglements and oh no, his girlfriend gets jealous that he sucks the sexual life force out of people. Boo-hoo. So yeah, no more of that. No more mystery uncle. He is now the adopted son of Samael and Cameron. And seeing how Cameron is the queen of demons, I suppose that makes Neo a prince. His powers are much the same from his 2007 reboot. He can walk through walls, disappear, and fly. He was much more unique than the other guys. In fact, he never touches the ground anymore. The floating is his form of walking. It comes naturally to him, and it's not a strain on his other abilities. He also grows a special type of smokable that puts people to sleep, so he can harvest their energies. He's got these white henna markings now that he changes and repaints every now and then in a way to keep him rooted to his Romani heritage and remind him to keep his humanity and keep that side of him close, because that's another little underlying issue of his, that he worries that he'll get so deep into being an incubus that he'll lose sight of who he was before and just become everything he hates. Like, not a lot of humanity, but enough that he's not going around ripping people to shreds in their sleep or whatever it is evil incubi do. Incubi? Incubuses? Incubi, I think, is the plural for an incubus. Whatever. The origins of his powers are still the same. He was cursed by a succubus when he tried to save his father from one. When his father saw what became of his youngest son, he tried to drown Neo, and it didn't take. He survived, but was completely distraught that his father would do that to him. And he tries to die again, but is found by Cameron and Samael, who accept him for, what he is now, and they take him in because that's what the king and queen of demons do. They take in wayward demons and help raise them. And over the years, he comes to really adore his new parents, even going so far as to help him look for Cameron for decades after she goes missing. Like, he never tells Sam to give up. He's like, yeah, keep looking for mom. Don't stop believing. Simply because, his new mom would do the same for him, like Cameron really would. And she totally would, because look at how cute he is. Let's look at him. Okay, and here's the finished product. You can see the full res of this in my DeviantArt gallery or on my Instagram. Just look at how cute Neo is. He becomes cuter and cuter with every passing decade. And I fear that my characters don't get taken serious enough because they're just so freaking adorable. But, that's my cross to bear. That's it for Neo's character sheet revamp. If you want to see that and all my other artwork, please visit my DeviantArt gallery, my Twitter, or my Instagram, because I am Musashden here, there, and everywhere. Thanks for watching.